Ellie? Can't turn the page. Summer and Jasmine watched in horror as the crack widened and spread. Trixie flew her leaf up into the air and looked from side to side. There was a huge, jagged split running through the cotton candy fields, past the rainbow pools, and all the way up to the Sunbeam factory. It stretches right across the whole island, she called. Ah! Ellie cried as the cloud shook again. She grabbed onto Jasmine and Summer's hands, and they held another tightly as the crack in front of them grew wider. Now they could see right through it, down to the kingdom far below. The island's breaking in half. Trixie called from above. Oh my goodness, Lolo gasped. I've never known a cloudquake as bad as this. There was another big tremble, and the crack widened, splitting the island into two. To everyone's horror, the two sides of the island began drifting apart. Okay, so you might want to write, we saw tremble again on page 45, so you might want to write page 45 as well. Just write 45 under your page number because we saw that word again. Okay. The girls looked around in alarm. On their side of the crack were the fluff flower fields and the raindrop workshop, and on the other side, with Lolo and some of the other imps, were the cloud factory and the rainbow pools. Already the gap was too wide to jump across, and the other side of the island was moving farther and farther away from them. Summer gasped. They're sitting at the edge of the other part of the island. Was her cloud bunny, his ears drooping sadly? He was looking over at the fluff flowers, where all the rest of the bunnies were hopping about nervously. I hope he doesn't try to jump back to his friend, she said anxiously. Lolo, can you look after Cotton? She called over to the other cloud. Of course, Lolo shouted back. She scooped up the little rabbit and put him in her apron pocket. Don't worry, Trixie called as she came flying down next to them. I'll use my magic to put the island back together again. She flew over the gap, tapped her ring, and chanted, With this magic my wish is plain. Cloud Island, become one again. Showers of purple glitter shot out of her ring and shimmered through the air between the two halves of the island, but nothing happened. If Trixie's spell isn't working, this has got to be because of Queen Malice's horrid thunderbolt. When the weather imps saw that Trixie couldn't fix the island, they started running about frantically. You know that word? Frantically. Okay, so what do you think frantically means?
Hopefully didn't work or something. Or I don't really know.
Frantically. Okay, so if I have, let's say I'm turning in all my papers and like my work is due for school, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm on the way to school. I have to leave my house because I'm going to miss the bus if I don't get on the bus right then. But I can't find my homework. What do you think? I'm probably frantically running around my house looking for my.
Or freaked out or something. Or
It's kind of freaked out, like you're just frantic, like you're all over the place.
yeah.
So like I was frantically running around my house looking for my homework. Does that make sense to you? So could you give me an example? We can see what it said in the book. So when the weather imps saw that Trixie couldn't fix the island, they started running about frantically. So they couldn't fix the island. So they're running around all crazy like I was when I was looking for my homework. Remember? Okay. So jagged. Let's go ahead and look at that. Because I feel like now that we're reading into this a little more, I feel like we should have been going
44.
over this when we read it. Okay, page 44.
Right there.
Okay, There was a huge jagged split running through the cotton candy fields, past the rainbow pools, all the way up to the Sunbeam factory. It stretches right across the whole island. So, there was a huge jagged split.
Probably big or something.
Okay, so try to use the words around it. Can you read that sentence to me right here?
There was a huge jagged split running through the cotton candy field.
Do you know what a split is? If something is split in half.
Yeah,
Okay, so there's going to be,
something cotton.
if we have one finger, we split it in half, we have,
2 fingers.
not really 2 fingers, but half a finger and half a finger, right? Okay, so it's jagged. The way it was split was just jagged. It was crooked, like this. Let me show you, draw it for you. So we have this, we have like a box right here. It's jagged, or we're going to cut it in half, but it's going to be jagged. So the line's not straight, it's jagged.
Like this.
Are y'all videotaping right now?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry.
You're good. Yep, so frantically. Okay, so, jagged. Okay, sorry, that threw me off. Okay, tremble. Okay, when something trembles.
Probably might be shaking.
Perfect, you just got it. You knew that word. If something trembles, you just shake it. We probably went over that in the past.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's in there.
Oh well. Well, that's good. That's good. You recognize that.
Yeah, it's in there.
All right, let's keep reading. Okay. Okay, we're gonna start right here. When the weather imps saw that Trixie couldn't fix the island, they started running about frantically. What are we going to do? One shouted. If the fluff flowers are on one cloud and the cloud factory is on the other, we won't be able to make any new clouds. And without clouds, there won't be any rain, and all the flowers and plants in the kingdom will die, another cried. Please don't worry, Summer called. This is because Queen Malice is a nasty thunderbolt. But we'll find a way to break its spell and put the island back together again. Yes, we'll think of something, promised Ellie. We won't let her get away with it. What can we do, though? Jasmine whispered. Just then, one of the messenger doves the girls had seen before flew down toward them with an envelope in its beak. The dove flapped across the gap to Trixie. The little pixie took the note and unfolded it. To the girl's surprise, on it was a tiny moving image of King Mary. It's just like the magical map, Ellie cried. The king seemed worried and more messy than normal. His crown looked like it was about to fall off his white, curly hair, and his half-moon glasses were lopsided on his nose. Is everything all right up there, Trixie? The king asked. Do you know what lopsided means? Lopsided. So curly hair and his half-moon glasses were lopsided on his nose.
Probably crooked.
Yep. Is everything all right up there, Trixie? The king asked, his voice sounding tiny and squeaky. We just heard an awful cloudquake. We think it's the work of one of Queen Mouse's thunderbolts. Sire, Trixie told him sadly, it split Cloud Island in half. Oh dear, King Mary sounded very upset. I'll come up there right away and see what I can do to help. I can use the transporter that I've just invented. Trixie frowned nervously. Your Majesty, she started saying, but it was too late. King Mary's face vanished. King Mary's face vanished from the paper before she had a chance to finish. Oh no, she groaned. I wish he'd let me magic him here. He invented a transporter last week and it keeps going wrong. Yesterday he tried to transport himself into his bath and he ended up in the sea. Suddenly there was a bright flash and King Mary appeared right on the edge of the cloud. Ah, he cried, swinging his arms around to balance himself. The girls ran toward him, but it was too late. With a cry of surprise, King Mary fell over to the side. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Okay, so let's take our 2 words. Do you want to use tremble? Or do you want to just work with jagged and frantically? I think you...
Jagged and frantically.
Yeah, I think that that's a good...
I think it's in here.
Oh, I just lost our page in here. Okay, so let's go back.
Page 53.
Okay. Page
53. You stop.
44. 44. We're gonna make a word wall with that. Have you ever heard of a word wall before? Okay. So it's words that you like come across that you don't really recognize right away. So the words we just saw in the text that we don't really see every day. Okay.
At least we didn't use those ones with the black ones. Some of
Oh yeah, that didn't work.
Yeah, almost all of them didn't work.
All right, go ahead and write word wall on there for me. I'm gonna do it in a different color.
This one doesn't really work. I think the black one worked well. How is this not black? That doesn't look black to me.
Yeah, that doesn't look black. That's a little strange, isn't it? Yeah, the markers are kind of getting a little old at this point in tutoring.
I bet this one is completely not the color.
Let's see. Is it? Alright, so let's go ahead and write jagged on there.
These might be, I'm pretty sure all of them don't work.
You can write it in a pretty marker if you want.
I want to write it in pencil so I can erase it. Then I'm going to go over.
Okay.
Jagged.
I was going to check my phone for the time, but it's up there.
This is one of these colors that work. This is the test.
That's it.
Yeah, they work perfect.
Jagged. Okay, so do you remember what we talked about that meant? What that meant? What jagged meant?
Jagged.
Think about. We're gonna split my finger in half. We're gonna do it jaggedly.
Like not straight.
Not straight. Or what else?
Probably squiggly lines.
Squiggly lines, crooked, something.
Zigzag.
Zigzag. Perfect. So let's you want to write all those descriptive words, maybe like under it, or zigzag.
Squiggly.
Squiggly.
That's so squiggly.
That's a good try. I like that. I would probably sell it like this.
Okay.
Okay, but we can keep yours. Okay. All right. So, could you want to try to use a sentence with it now? I think you should.
Okay.
What's a sentence you could do?
My spaghetti noodles were jagged. Some spaghetti, my spaghetti noodles are squiggly.
How about like, I'm thinking of, okay, so if you were going to split a pizza with me.
And you didn't cut it straight.
And I didn't cut it straight, I cut it what?
Zigzag.
But we have to use the word jagged. So you could say, Miss Lydia cut the pizza jagged.
My mommy cut the pizza jagged.
Yep, or my mom cut the pizza jagged. Or the pizza was cut jagged.